Okay, well, welcome everyone to our spring edition of our Salon Owners Roundtable. I'm Adam Kennedy. I work here on the team at Aura, and I'm really excited about today's topic. So today's topic is going to be about leveling up your desk. So we have many conversations with salon owners on a daily basis, really trying to help understand how to update and modernize a workflow in today's salons. So, you know, let's be real here. We know that there's definitely a challenge finding support-based roles for salons as the new generation tends to be more dependent on gig work like Google or Grubhub or DoorDash or those types of jobs rather than support-based roles in a salon. So hopefully we're able to solve that today with the help of our special guest. I'm really helping to understand how to evolve that desk instead of it being a place for transactions to take place, but really a place for guest service to coexist. The second key point that we are going to cover today is really, again, kind of modernizing workflows. So, we speak to salons very often that once we kind of dig deep and understand why they have certain processes in place within their business, it was created around technology that maybe they were using 10, 15 years ago, and they haven't really updated those processes or workflow. And hopefully after today, you have some best practices that you can take back into your salon to really understand how to evolve your processes to kind of match the technology that we work with at Aura. So, Stefan, we'll move on to the next slide. So today's agenda, we are definitely going to introduce our special guest, Stefan. We are going to go through his service wheel that he operates within his salon. Also go take you on a virtual tour of Apotheca, so you're able to see exactly how that workflow happens from the moment the guest walks in the door through the consultation and the checkout process at the chair. And then we're going to open it up. So, the purpose of a salon owner roundtable is that we want this to be a place where people can collaborate and share, and we can come together as a community. So I really encourage at this point for you guys to raise your hand, come off mute and share. We are a nice group here, so we would love to hear your voice. So feel free to ask questions. That's really what we're here for. So we'll move on to the next slide. And now our special guest. So Steffan Bentley owns Apotheca in Austin, Texas. And Steffan and I randomly ran into each other at Serious Business. And I will share, he is a very passionate individual, and I really fell in love with his company's brand vision, as well as how he has adopted Aura into his business to really help, encourage a place where, his team is able to understand the guest service behavior right from the front at his concierge stand, really empower his technical team to grow the ticket by having a little bit more freedom with the technology on their mobile devices. And, I hear this often. Many salons are like, well, I've had a desk for 10 years in my salon. Like, how would I even go about removing it? So I do want to preface that Steffan does have a desk. He just has given new purpose and life to the desk. And it's a place where, guests are greeted, given a tour, and not a place of transactions. Transactions are happening chair side. So once we go through that virtual tour today, you will be able to see that kind of come to life and understand how that would work within your four walls. So I'm going to pass it over to Steffan. We're really excited to have you as our special guest today. So hello.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here with everyone and share with you how we do business and some of our best behaviors. So I am going to tell you a little bit about me first. I live in, Austin, Texas with all the allergies. And I own a salon and barbershop, all inclusive. I'm super about diversity, equity, inclusivity. I taught hair color business for Aveda for 10 years, taught red chocolate. And really, whenever I started this salon model, took a hard look at like what works, what doesn't work, what do people want, and what does the modern workforce want, which is freedom. So I really created this happy little hybrid model that ideally will support your employees, support your staff, support your bottom line in where we're spending our money in that role, but also give back to your employees and your community in a way that I feel the salon of the future should go. So I have a little video that goes over some of our core values. Give me just a second, I'll pop over and then we'll talk a little more. Sorry, she's looped. Awesome. Was there anything that stood out to any of you on there that maybe is something you're seeing coming from your staff or that you've considered maybe making a shift towards? You can come off mute or pop it in the chat. Either one works. Well, if not, one of the things, this is our service wheel, more of a box, and each one has different, there's a total of like 20 steps through the entire service. Today, we're going to talk about greeting and chairside checkout, and we won't really touch on consultation or our technical service today. But one of the things I wanted to chat about, first of all, is what Adam said about, it's hard to find support staff members now. And oh, thank you, Stevie. I just saw that and I'll talk in 1 second. So it's that support staff member. And the other thing, I was having a conversation, I was in Houston at Next Fest this weekend. I was talking to another salon owner and they were telling me that they were up to $19 an hour for a front desk person and still couldn't keep them working. And they're just talking about turnover and how they're not having that place filled. So I took a little bit of a different approach to that. We do not have front desk staff, but we do have concierge role. And we have our director, her official title is the Director of Staff and Guest Relations. And she is our big coach. She meets with all of the staff, whether they're in the concierge role or stylists, setting their quarterly goals, following up with that, meeting with them every 2 weeks on strategies and seeing how their strategies are working towards their goals. And then that concierge role, which you'll see a little bit, they give a tour, they do hand massages, they help with the retail experience, they do laundry, because one of the things we advertise is complimentary laundry service. They are actually a student from barber beauty school. So this is creating a role that's a first step into the salon. It's a part-time position, and it's a way for a student to come into your business, start to get to know you, start to get to know your team, and from the beginning, learn how to support the team and become part of that culture, to then grow into an associate or assistant, whatever verbiage you use, and then a stylist, emerging artist is what we called it, and then further. So instead of having that front desk position, we're starting out with this part-time position for a student, and we hire 2 at a time because we are across from a Veda Institute that's on A and B. So students go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we have one part-time person from each side, and it creates a little bit of a competition, which is cool because those students know that only 2 people get it, so they want to fight for it a little bit more. And then you're getting those people in, they're working for you, they're supporting your staff, they're building that culture and learning how to be part of your team. Also, if they're not meeting your culture and where you want your staff, there's really no loss on letting them go at that point. So they're growing into it. They can start getting some styling lessons. They can start learning how to blow dry hair. And then that way, by the time they grow from this, they graduate from school, they're ready to be one of your emerging artists. Thank you, Carrie. 2 concierge, yes, 2 that are part-time, and my coach is my manager. It's a total of 3 people, 2 part-time and 1 full. So 1 student coming from the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday side, and 1 student coming from the Thursday, Friday, Saturday side, working part-time, and then 1 full-time manager. Does that answer your care? Awesome. And then the other thing that I noticed pop up from Stevie is full time of your schedule will speak to the next generation of hairdresser. I completely agree. Getting my salon open, it took about 3 years doing it through COVID. And I got to experience before that being a commission stylist, knowing what I loved about it, what I didn't love about it. And then from there, being a booth renter in a chair rental salon, and then a different chair rental salon, and then a suite rental. And I kind of got to see the differences of each one on the way to open my commission salon. And really the only appeal there to being independent for me was the freedom. You want that freedom to have autonomy of your schedule, and also having that freedom to be who you are and feel supported in your genuine authenticness. I feel like old school salon models a lot of times tried to put everybody in a cookie cutter box and say, this is how we train everybody to be exactly the same. And moving forward, we need to figure out what our stylists are passionate about and how we can grow each of them to be the best version of their true authentic self. If there's any questions about the concierge, we can touch on that. If not, we're going to get a little bit into the greeting. So whenever our guests show up, we have 4 steps in this. So we greet our guests. We take them through a tour, our current promotions. One of the things that I have found, I don't have that metric, Carrie, but I can send you a message and put it together. I'll have to put that together, and I have your contact information. I'll send it. So we greet our guests. We take them through a tour in our current promotions. One of the biggest things that I find is creating excitement is the key to both retailing and pre-booking. So our retail for the last 6 months is sitting about $32.50 average retail per service ticket. We get them a beverage after they get sat down, and then we provide the QR code for Aura. You're going to get to see all of this in live action here in just 1 second. We change our specials, our launch tables, and our promotions every single month. I used to do it bi-monthly. I found that my stylist would be really, really on board and excited the first month and then kind of forget about it the second month. So that's why we started doing something different every month. After this, we have our consultation. We have a bunch of steps in there. One of the things that we do that's very powerful, I am going to highlight, is we do a pre-consultation style. So whenever the guest sits down in your chair, and always inevitably the first thing they say is one of two things. The first thing is, I'm sorry, my hair's so dirty. And the second thing was, my hair just feels so damaged and dry. So if they say, I'm sorry, my hair is so dirty, then we take them through the Aveda second day looks. We talk about dry shampoos, rinseless refresh, dry conditioners, teach them how to use them before their consultation. And they say something like, my hair feels so dry or damaged, then we direct the target conversation to Aveda's new botanical repair overnight serum, and we start coaching them on products before we do our consultation. We saw that the Aveda second day stylers, in our first 3 months, I think we had sold maybe 8 of those, and after we sold 50 in the last 2 months. So that really helps us. And the other area we're going to focus in on today is the actual checkout with Aura. So these are some of our steps with that. We do a product debrief. You're going to see that in a little bit. One of the other big keys to our success with retail that goes into technical service is that we do a blow dry lesson on everyone. So opposed to having the stylist just style their hair, they actually take them through every single product, teach them how to use it, have them experience one, have them touch one, have them smell one, so that we're really tying the senses of touch and smell into the experience. Because we know if they have a great experience and they go home and they smell that again, it's just going to bring them back into the mindset of that amazing experience they had. We secure our sale. We can check out 2 different ways, and we are going to show you both of those ways. One's a flip pay, which is my preference, and the other one is a self-pay, which is on their own device. We always thank our guests, and then we always let somebody leave with a gift. And our gifts include a little affirmation, which we love. You notice pre-booking is on in here. Pre-booking does fall for us in our technical service. So that would live in a color service in the processing time, or in a cut service right before we get to this point. Are there any questions before I give you all a tour of my salon? No? Okay.
Everyone's waiting for the tour.
Let me get my technology flipped over. Perfect. Okay. So here is the salon, and we do, like Adam said, have a front desk. This is our front desk. It's for greeting. That's she's our director of guest and staff relations. It is a greeting concierge, just no transactions happen here. So let's show you.
Hello, welcome to Apotheca Salon Barbershop. I'm Kai, and you are Samaya. Hi, Samaya. Nice to meet you. It looks like you're new, so I want to familiarize you with our salon. We are an Aveda salon, which uses primarily all vegan and cruelty-free products. And we have this special going on right now, which is our mix and mask special. You can choose a shampoo, conditioner, and mask of your choice and receive a free leave-in treatment.
Okay, and that's those 2 right there?
Yes, you can choose from any of these products these are all part of our hero line. So we have some over here as well. but you can, mix them from different lines within it.
Awesome.
All right. If you leave us a review today, you can take home one of these styling products. And if you add on an enhancement service for this botanical repair treatment, you can take home one of these botanical repair leave-ins.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get you settled in. This is our color lab. Aveda Color is all vegan, really cool. This is our waiting area. If you want to go ahead and take a seat. We have a variety of drinks, coffee, tea, water, and these ciders. Do you have a preference?
Yeah, I'll take a cranberry cider.
Okay. All right, that's for you. And I want to get you set up. If you could go ahead and take out your phone and open up your camera. I'm gonna give you this QR code. It's really easy. That takes you to the portal. So if you remember your password, you can go ahead and sign in. If not, I can send you a password reset link.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I actually set up an account, so we'll reset them.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so that was sent to you at the email address that you provided over the phone. So you can just log into that after you reset your password. And at the bottom, there's going to be an icon, a wallet icon. Just click on that and add your payment method, and you'll be ready to go when it's time to check out. In the meantime, on the other side of this, like this shows you our specials, but this is all of those enhancement treatment services that you can choose from. So you can take a look at that and see what you might be interested in.
Awesome, thank you so
You're
much.
so welcome.
Awesome, guys. I'm gonna pass this off to I'm gonna get to play stylist as I do by day, and we're gonna show you our checkout experience. Yeah, so this way.
Yeah, it's like turning.
There we go. So all of our staff does have an iPad at their station. I can drop a link in the comment box where I get them refurbished. So it's super cost effective, but we keep that here. So this would be after she has already received her blow dry lesson. The cape has come off. She has this wonderful style. We are going to do a quick little debrief of all of our products. So Samaya, today we're talking about, it's the drier months, all of our skin's a little bit drier, our hair's a little bit drier. I pulled out the Nutriplenish line for you. This is a really amazing moisturizing shampoo and conditioner. I went with the same treatment mask. If you get these guys, here's your free leave-in conditioner today. As we used before we started to style your hair, we had the Style Prep Smoother preventing any frizz flyaways for the next 72 hours. A little bit of the Curl Gelée to hold this amazing curl in there, and then finish you off with a little bit of the Nutriplenish oil and the Light Hairspray. Which products would you like to start your regimen with today? And what would you like for us to say for onto your file for next time?
Well, I definitely need a shampoo and conditioner. And then I think I will go with the smooth infusions.
I love that. That's a great place to start. The rest of these guys that you're not grabbing, we record your file so you can stop by anytime, pick them up by chatting with I at the front, one of our concierges, or you can even see them in your guest app that you set up earlier today.
Oh, awesome.
So super easy with the iPad, y'all. What we would do here is the provider simply goes to retail. We go into Nutriplenish. And shampoo, conditioner, what else they're getting. They also from here, they can add their retail, they can add their enhancements if they got that botanical repair treatment or maybe a Nutriplenish treatment. Selecting the service provider, if you select the time, it'll raise their productivity. We put our retail on there. Super easy with the little thing. And then we can go ready to pay. At this point, if the guest would like to check out through their device that they have already set up their card in, we can let them know, hey, open back up that same window you had earlier and you can now check out in the bottom right. We find it's a little bit easier. We love the flip screen. So what I did there was I just hit this little flip in the top right, and that's going to itemize everything for the guest, put their tip right here, and have everything ready for them to go. And we just hand it over for them while we put their products together in their bag. So say we didn't by chance get them pre-booked before and we're like, or forgot or right behind, we're like, oh my gosh, I've got a pre-book. Now it's super easy because after we pay, I don't want to pay because I don't want to charge her, but after we pay, it will open back up pre-book. So if we need to pre-book now, we can go ahead and do that. And there's a little frog right there that will let us go out the amount of weeks that we want. The other thing that we do for our guests before they leave is we give all new guests a little gift, and then we give, which has a product in it, but outside of the product, the rest are the same. We give them a referral card, a business card for the stylist member, and then we love these little pop-up affirmations. And just as much as anything is experience-based now, I think having that sweet little affirmation as a closing is that perfect way to say goodbye that's going to have your guests leaving on a warm, fuzzy, happy note. I'm going to get us flipped off of my phone back to my camera, and then we have some Q&A. Hi.
Thank you so much for that, Steffan. That was a great tour. I always find visually, people tend to learn more when they can see it live in action. So thank you for getting your team together and really sharing that wonderful experience from start to finish in a warp speed, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so at this time, we would love for anyone to come off mute. You are more than welcome to ask a question in the chat, but we would love to hear your voice. Does anyone have any questions?
I would love if, go ahead.
Oh no, please, Stevie, go.
I would love if you could talk to me or us about y'all's like salon timing. So kind of from, start to finish, that greeting and then your blow dry lesson to that kind of checkout. Have y'all added a little extra time to allow for that chairside checkout, or have you found that over time you've been really able to work that into the timing you guys already had set?
We're able to work it in the timing we have. I mean, with the flip screen, we literally just hand them the iPad while we package their products up for them. And then we do all their packaging and products with a little piece of tissue paper in it so that it feels like a gift. I will share with you one other screen. Sorry, you're gonna have to give me just a second on this, because the chairside checkout is really been great for us, and it doesn't take any more time, but we have found, and whenever I taught Red Chocolate, we taught this a paradigm shift where we were really having the stylists understand that they are a professional and they are in the power, and that they are just like a doctor or any other kind of high powered professional. So I am going to share some of our stats with you. So this you can see utilizing the chairside checkout and having those services having retail be part of the service and having that blow dry lesson be part of our service. Our staff over the last 6 months is averaging 1.9 retail units per client. That is including holiday gift sets, which had 3 in them. We have a 56% client retail purchase rate. We are doing, our average retail per service ticket is $32.48. And then this is what I really love too, is our upsells, because we start talking about enhancements, condition, adding shine to the hair, is really sitting at 45% right now with $23,684. Our first $100,000, because we've been open for 6 months, was comprised of $60,000 book services that the clients had called and request. $20,000 was upsales, and $20,000 of that was retail.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I know Tracy has a question specifically around how much time do you allow? And Tracy, would you be able to elaborate that for like the total service from start to finish? Like if it was a haircut, or are you looking for like how much time would be in the check-in or check-out process?
I mean, I guess kind of all of the above, just to piggyback on what was just said. I'm just wondering how much time, like if it's a finishing haircut and style, how much time do they allow that includes the checkout at the chair?
It's an hour for most of our stylists.
Okay.
We do have some that like a little bit longer whenever they first start, and we're definitely, while they're still building and growing to be completely booked, I'm always more willing to give them an extra 15 minutes while they're getting used to it. But, you know, as their percent book goes up, that time needs to go down. But we keep it as an hour. That's kind of what I think most haircuts should be at. I don't like try and cram them into 45 minutes, because I don't think in 45 minutes you have time for that pre-consultation styling lesson, have time for a proper consultation. And then we do a really great shampoo ritual with steam towels on everybody and a space-like room, and then bringing them back, doing that blow dry lesson, and then the chair side checkout. It takes the full hour. But whenever we look at what people are coming to the salon for, like obviously a great haircut, everybody wants a great haircut, but the experience is what gets them coming back the second time, and also is what gets their friends and family in the door.
Great, thank you. Also, another question, the products that are sitting at the station, are those retail products? And then who's putting those there, and how are you transitioning that through from guest to guest? It seems like a lot.
I love that. That's a great question. So that's what one of the duties your concierge can help with. So we have a little basket. Those were retail today because I didn't do a blow dry lesson, but generally we would have the shampoo and conditioner mask that would be retail, and then everything else would be our back bar, and we would be pulling them forward closer to the guests as we use them. So as I'm using botanical repair leave-in, I'm going to pull that forward, put in my hand, talk about the product, teach the guests how to use the product, and then move to the next one. And then on our stations, we have a little basket, and our basket has all of the retail ones with a bag and a piece of tissue paper in the back so that it can be bagged up at the end. Now, our stylists grab the styling products they're going to use in their basket on their way back to the chair from the shampoo room. If they did not have time to grab the professional product or the retail products, the concierge can come by and take note of what products are being used and go ahead and put that in the basket for them and drop it back off at the station without interrupting. And how I go about shampoo and conditioner for that is a little chip system. So like with Aveda, if we have, like they don't have time to grab the shampoo conditioner, if the concierge sees a green chip sitting there, they know to go grab botanical repair. Or if they see like a pink chip, they know to go grab Nutriplenish and drop that off for them.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Tracy.
So one thing that most salons have to navigate is getting a credit card put on file. How do you handle maybe that generation that's fearful of having a credit card on file to kind of ease that checkout process?
That was a hurdle in the first week we had to overcome. So I will say that credit card on file is one of my favorite things about Aura. I dropped the salon system that we were going to use before because they did not have that feature. I think, it just, whenever we're dealing in today, it protects both you and it protects your employees by having that credit card on file, keeping people from no-showing. We do have people who are uncomfortable with keeping a credit card on file. So what we did was, in Aura, whenever they put their credit card on file, they have to accept the terms and all of your policies of the salon, which I also love. So we printed those terms out and we made it into a paper contract, and we let them know, okay, great. If you don't want to keep a credit card on file with us, we need you to go ahead and sign this and accept all of our cancellation policies. If you no-show, we're going to charge you. We do expect that to be paid in full to book your next appointment. And then they sign it at the bottom, and we use the terminal at the front desk. And we have one credit card reader for the entire salon.
Okay, perfect. And what percent of your guests have a card on file and opt for express pay over a physical card present?
98. Almost everybody. We have like a few finicky people who are afraid of like identity theft or their credit card being stolen, and I've told them, like, actually I pay 10 cents more per charge so that your stuff is safe, and they just don't want to do it. But the majority of the guests love the card being on file. I mean, it's just like your Uber or a Lyft. It's already there, it's ready for you. They love the ease of just being able to check out. My extension clients, whenever it comes time to order their new hair, they love being able to just shoot a text message to the Aura side being like, hey, go ahead and charge me for my hair for next week. I think most of our guests find that it's more of an ease than anything having that card on file.
No, I 100% agree. And I share this story pretty often when I talk to salons. I have a 97-year-old grandmother, and she's not able to drive. And last year, or during the pandemic, she used Uber for the first time. So I am a firm believer that regardless of age, people are becoming very much more comfortable with having a credit card on file, thankfully, because of the pandemic, and they were kind of forced to do online shopping and order things through apps. So slowly we're kind of turning the curve, I believe, in most geographic areas across the country. And she's in Indiana, so she's in the middle of the country where maybe things are a little slower. So I definitely think that has helped kind of give peace of mind that their card is safely secure on file. And it also helps you at the salon because the client can just hit one button versus having to find the terminal, put the card in the terminal, and process it at the desk or chair side with the physical terminal itself.
And that's, I will add on to that. That's like, they can have more than just one card on file too, which is really great because some of them will have 2 or 3 cards on file. And then the other really great thing is with Aura, you can share those cards with family members. So, my client Melanie, whenever her son Tyler comes in to get his haircut, she doesn't have to call up here or give her 16-year-old her Amex anymore because we can easily just like link it over.
No, the family account feature is great in that sense as well. Talking about like staff adoption, like how easy was it to get the staff to adopt to this new process and flow and not to have, a team of people supporting them with the checkout process?
We didn't have any problems bringing it in. It was really, I laid it out to them in a way of like, listen, guys, this is something we're doing. We're going to be bringing it in as part of the professional. You are the professional. You're making the product recommendations. You're telling your guests when they need to come see you. And so that service is part of your service. You have to have accountability and responsibility for building your books, for adding on, for upselling, doing all these things. And you are the most credible person in the building with your guest on how to close that deal. And so once we had that realization, and then I think, just being open and honest and transparent with your employees, I tell them, like, by not having additional money going into a front desk staff, this allows us to have more education. It allows us to pad the bottom line so that we can afford things that y'all want or that you want to do, or anything as salon owners that we want to do to take stress off. So we really didn't have any challenges in adopting it as a whole. The only challenge I think and this isn't a challenge at all, some of them will use their phone, and I like them to use the iPad just because I think it looks fancier and prettier, but that's not a challenge. It's just a personal preference. Then with them all having iPads at their stations, we utilize salon scale too. So they are able to do all their salon scale there. And then we do weekly trackers for their growth. So they have their iPads, and they all have Excels on there with their customized Google Drive. So they do all their tracking on there, and they bring their iPads to their biweekly coaching meeting. I'm putting that in right now, Tracy. I get the 5th generation iPad. It's plenty what you need. So we had no challenges with implementing, and I think all of our stylists really like it.
And then when they're not in the salon, what type of access settings do you have limited for them when they're outside of the salon?
They can do pretty much everything except for process a transaction. They can book their appointments. They cannot see guests' phone number information or address information, because I don't think that's an ethical way of respecting the guest's confidentiality and personal information. And they can't process a ticket outside of the salon, but they can pre-book everybody. They can book everybody. They can see their schedules. They can see their coworkers' schedules if they're trying to, get their hair done. So we have it pretty open. If you, as a salon owner, we're hopefully hiring people that we trust, and I'm very fortunate to have a group that I trust and love, and can trust all of them with that information without having to worry about it.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I'm a firm believer that people don't always leave for the idea that they're going to make a higher compensation renting or going into a suite. They're really just looking for more
freedom.
Yep, freedom. Mm-hmm.
Freedom. And that was one of my big things. Our 3 key words for our salon are diversity, inclusivity, and freedom. And so diversity, we're a salon, we're a barbershop, we have a braider. We want to cater to every single client. We're on a community college campus, and not just white women go to community college. Everyone does. You need to be able to service everyone. And then inclusivity, I've always been the oddball and the weirdo, and I love having, a place where everybody can feel cherished for their weirdness, instead of they have to find a way to fit in, make the mold around your weird edges. And then freedom for me was not in the America freedom, but the freedom to be an individual, the freedom to take control of your life, the ability to have financial freedom, and giving them the education to learn the tools to achieve that financial freedom, the ability to work 35 hours a week and take home 6 figures, the ability to know that it's okay to take up to a month off a year and go on a vacation or spend time with your family without having to worry what your job is going to think, or are my clients going to be there? Yes, they're going to be there. Everything's going to be okay. And as salon owners, our ship will keep sailing, and we'll get to keep those people longer. Because for me, before I opened Apotheca, I spent 8 years at a salon, and I'm still very good friends with the owner. I love her. She's like a second mom to me. But at the end of the day, when you look back, it was the lack of freedom and the lack of ability to make more money were the reasons that I left. And with the lack of ability to make more money, it was that there was no way to get above 45% commission. So we are from 40 to 55, and our commissions are 1% goals. So it goes 40, 41, 42. And that's so that everything is stepping stones and building blocks. That way your goals are small and achievable, and people are always getting their toes wet and seeing upward movement, opposed to burning out, stagnating, and then creating issues in their mind that aren't actually what they're unhappy about, but it's a band-aid for not being able to get upward movement. I mean, just as us, like becoming a salon owner, like there were a lot of building blocks and a lot of steps here, and you had your goals, and I'll get to that product charge. You have your goals and your mind, and all your staff has goals. So it's about coaching them and helping them get to that. That's why they sit down with our manager every other week and talk about their strategies. What are we doing to get to our goals? How are these strategies working? And if they're not working, what can we do next week to get that goal hit, to make this? And we tie it into what their personal goals are. How do I manage no product charge? That would be a salon scale all day, every day. I love salon scale. And the really cool thing about salon scale is that it not only compensates for your product, but it monetizes it. So I pay $7 for a tube of Aveda color. Salon Scale charges $14 for that tube of hair color, and it goes on the ticket as a Salon Scale charge. So the product is charged directly to the consumer, not to the stylist, therefore taking it out of the stylist pocket. That's one of the things I always hated. And it gives you a really, really amazing upper hand in marketing to new stylists or existing stylists in your area, being able to say, hey, I'm one of the only salons that doesn't make you pay for your product. So there's the time for the actual service. And then on top of that, we have our Salon Scale for the hair color. And whenever they're calling to talk about it, we let them know that our price does vary just based on the amount of hair color used. Here is our estimate for what that will be. And there are two separate charges. So I love it because it's not holding the stylist responsible. It's giving your stylist more money because you would be taking out of their commission otherwise. And then the monetization of the sale of hair color is exactly like the monetization of products on a shelf. You're making 100% markup. So it's creating a paving of the bottom line to afford for things that you actually want to do.
Yeah, I love that. And we have been working very closely with Salon Scale, and we are building the ability for you to add a product fee to the ticket that could be required by service. So that's something that will be coming soon. So I just want to let everyone know that's working with kind of color management software technology that is in the works. One other question I wanted to ask, because this is something that happens pretty often when we speak to salons, is how would you even begin to introduce like a concept like this in a very established business? Like maybe they've been in business, 10 or more years, and they've always depended on support staff at the desk. Like, how would you introduce this new process so that it doesn't come across so, daunting for an owner?
Well, I would say taking your support staff out to lunch on a day that you're closed and having a conversation about we're growing, and post-COVID, there has to be new ways for us to grow and for us to grow together as a team. So we've taken a hard look, and we're not eliminating you as a part of our team, but we are changing the way that we're changing what your role is for our salon. So instead of being front desk, you're now going to be a concierge, and your focus is going to be guest happiness and supporting our staff. So then mind mapping and just asking them, because whenever people have the ability to add their opinions to it, they're going to care about what they're doing, and they're going to perform better at it. So asking them, what do you think goes into that concierge? Through their experience, what all does the guest need to feel heard, valued, loved? That is my biggest thing. Is post-pandemic, social media, online dating, everybody wants to wants to feel heard, valued, and loved. All of your staff members, number one, want to feel heard, valued, loved. All of your guests want to feel heard, valued, loved. And that's how you'll keep everyone. So if we're coming from that place and they mind map it out and we go, okay, great. So this is now what your role is. And then take them and show them, do it. Like the first thing my staff, whenever I hire new staff, I do their hair. I wash their hair. I give them a hand massage. I give them a scalp massage. I give them a blow dry lesson because I think it's important for them to feel that and feel what the expectation is. So do the job for them and then rehearse it, role play. So then that would be how I would transition a front desk member into a concierge. And the people who want to stay with you, grow them in a way of marketing, grow them in some other way that they can be beneficial to your salon to afford that higher salary or hourly. And then if not, whenever they quit, replace them with a student from a beauty school and then really go towards training your concierge to be future stylists.
Yeah.
Tracy, I see you have your hand up.
Me again.
Hi.
So back to the salon scale and pricing. So do you just charge an hourly rate? Is my first question. And then if you would piggyback on that, I mean, again, I am that person that's been in the industry for a long time. And I have a hard time understanding how you can make a profit after 45, 46, 47% commissions.
Okie doke. So first question is, I'm sorry, say
Time.
that first.
It was about how you charge. Do you charge for time?
Yes, we do. Okay, so we do charge for time, but also in a little bit of a different way. So I very much played with the idea of going 45-minute color, 60-minute color, 30-minute color straight off this time. And at the end of the day, I kept coming back to like, sometimes you don't have to completely reinvent the wheel. And I found that I just thought it'd be more confusing than it's worth. So what I did was for all of our levels, I set that hourly charge of what that level charges for an hour. And then I divided it down into the minute, and then I multiplied the minute by the service time. So it is an hourly charge for the service. It's just called the partial highlight. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. And then the second one off the 45, 46, 47, that I actually took directly from Aveda Business College, and TSP has an online platform, and they go really into how you can still see monetization and create profit paying over 45% in theirs. And it's really what they end up showing you is that most of your people are going to perform in that 40 to 45 bracket, and having everything be skill certification based, like they're all benchmark based to get that. Your people who are high performers are going to hit up there in maybe that 50 or above 50%, but you have so many other people that aren't doing that your average usually comes back to around 45.
Okay, thank you. I am not Aveda, so what is TSP?
Oh, TSP is the salon people. They
Okay.
are Aveda, Florida. So I don't know if they like let non-Aveda people do that business college, but they do it in person in Florida too. And that's so you're just kind of looking at, whenever you take your salon as a whole, all your different commission percentages averaged out. You want to try and keep your average of all of your stylists together as close as possible to 45%, while still rewarding your higher performers so that they're not leaving you.
I got it. Thank you. And Adam, if I could jump this back to you. So how is Aura going to jump in with this salon skill?
So we're not building a direct integration. What we're doing is just making the fee process easier by defining, on your service menu, you'll be able to choose by service and define which services that you want to require a fee for. And then that would be required to be keyed in at checkout.
Great. Thank you.
But
Yes.
one of the things I know, if I can tag on that too, Adam and I were talking about was making sure that whenever we have that fee structure with the product, it still shows in online booking, like the quoted price. So like a fee to them that includes the color. Because the one thing I didn't want to do was always be like, oh, it's always going to be more. So like whenever they book, they'll know I'm just pulling math out. This color's $50. And then on our side, it would look in the breakdown of like 40-10 or whatever that may be.
Perfect. And then lastly, before we wrap things up, Steffan, where can people find you on social?
At Steffan Bentley, STEFFAN BENTLEY. And I'll put that in the chat box. And then my salon is Apotheca, APOTHECAATX. Please feel free to send me a DM anytime, answering questions. If you maybe want a little bit more information on like blow dry lessons or anything like that, how to really boost that retail, I'm always here. I believe sharing is caring. And, you know, one person doesn't build a village, and we all have to figure out how to move into the future and increase our product, increase our revenue, but also do it in a way that supports our stylists and makes them feel heard, valued, and loved.
Yay, I love it. So there's many people on the call that maybe haven't had an opportunity to speak with us directly about Aura. If you are interested, feel free to reach out at hello@aurasalonwear.com or find us on social, shoot us a DM. I'm sure one of our team members will be reaching out to kind of share with you on what is happening with March Madness and promotions for new salons. So be on the lookout. Thank you so much, Steffan, for taking the time to share today. I always love a visual slide deck instead of just text. So visually being able to see how your process comes to life within your business has been very helpful. So thank you again.
Thank you, Adam. So nice to meet all of you.
I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.